This is Greg Troutwine with Maritime Reporter TV, and we're very pleased to be joined today by Joe Hudspeth, the Director of Business Development, Global Marine at BAE Systems Power and Propulsion Solutions, to discuss the pace and progress of BAE Systems' HybriGEN system. So Joe, to start, can you walk us through the BAE Systems experience with electrification? Where has your technology found success to date?
BAE Systems has certainly been aware of the need to address emissions for decades, really. And this challenge has become one of our valued missions and really is the purpose behind our Power and Propulsion Solutions division, which is located in New York. And it's here in America that we proudly build our core technology, the HybriGEN system, which has grown out of 20 plus years of investment and innovation. We first demonstrated our success in hybrid and electric power and propulsion systems in the transit bus industry. And we've really been able to leverage that over 20 plus years and 13,000 systems in operation today to bring that over to the maritime sector. And during the last 5 years, we've been able to work with a variety of boat builders and operators and naval architects to help get people towards zero emissions. And that's really what BAE Systems is about, is getting people closer and closer to zero emissions.
Okay.
We believe that mitigating emissions is through electric systems has a compounding effect. And that not only eases the burden on our precious environment, but it helps people to experience lower noise in their vessel, reduce crew fatigue through less vibration, and financially helps the bottom line through reduced fuel expenses and maintenance costs. So these are all of the reasons why it makes sense for people to consider hybrid and electric technology in this path towards getting to zero emissions. One other thing, Greg, is sometimes it's the small things that get overlooked, but they're really a nice benefit and should be really considered into the ROI analysis. For example, an electric ferry, they don't have to go to the fuel dock anymore. And we all know that going to the fuel dock takes time, and you have to wait to bunker, and it's expensive. But now with an electric ferry, every time you pull into the dock and plug in, you're essentially taking on fuel. And so that's really an added benefit to help people consider taking on that new technology. I want to share some specific examples too about some of the applications where we've been successful. And I'll even talk about later on some of the applications that we have under development. We have found that hybrid and electric propulsion technology makes a lot of sense for applications such as research and survey vessels. Vessels like Norwalk Aquarium Spirit of the Sound and City University of New York's research vessel, they've been able to promote environmental stewardship while operating in sensitive coastal areas. And they do that with our hybrid and electric technology. Additionally, tour operators such as Red and White Fleet in San Francisco, they've been able to conduct quiet and low emissions tours and really ease their carbon footprint in an urban landscape setting. All at the same time, they're experiencing and reporting fuel savings of around 30%, which is very significant. And then if you look at our transportation sector, hybrid and electric technology works there too. And we've seen it demonstrated in Washington State's Kitsap Transit passenger ferry, the Waterman, that's providing daily commuter service, all with clean and proven hybrid technology. And the Harbor Harvest vessel really has become a first in America to demonstrate hybrid technology in the field of short sea shipping. And they're able to do crossings across Long Island Sound and bringing refrigerated cargo as well as passengers in a very clean and environmentally friendly way. So the list goes on, but I'll leave you with one more application, and that's in the inland towboat market. They need extra horsepower that may not make sense for a hybrid or electric propulsion system. We can use a system to generate power off of the main engines and utilize batteries that essentially eliminates the need for a generator. And if you can pull the generator out of the equation for those boats, it saves fuel and maintenance costs and really adds to the bottom line. So hybrid is happening. The electric power and propulsion in America is really buzzing, and it's going along cleanly and quietly.
As you discussed, your portfolio is diverse, it's wide. And as you know, in this business, there are no two boats, there are no two projects that are exactly the same. So can you discuss how the HybriGEN system supports the varied needs and requirements of the marine industry? And is there any change in your approach of your system offerings?
Sure. And Greg, you hit the nail on the head. We certainly realize that our customers need flexible solutions. And we realize that all craft are different, from pilot boats to patrol boats, eco tour vessels to high-speed ferries. Each one has different routes, different operational characteristics, and performance requirements. And along the way, looking at these applications, we realize that some operators and applications are closer to zero emissions than others. And that's really where BAE Systems has been able to step in and provide systems that are designed to get people to zero no matter where they are today. And it's a journey and it's a path. And we have solutions that can meet each application no matter where they're at. We found that the best approach is really to develop partnerships, not only with naval architects, but with the operators themselves and with shipyards. And we do that right from the start, in the initial design phase, all the way through construction and sea trials, and getting the certification from the regulatory agency or US Coast Guard. So if we do that, we can create lasting legacies in the systems that we are supplying. Just to walk you through this a bit, we first start by identifying the vessel's power needs for both the propulsion power and the hotel loads. And once we have a solid understanding of that data, we can essentially map down to the minute how much energy the vessel will consume when it's in operation. And we use this information to drive the system design. And for BAE Systems, our system is really modular, and it gives us flexibility in our offering. We understand that there can be challenges for boat builders and some operators to adapt hybrid or electric technology or even fuel cell technology, as it's newer for our industry. But it's not new for BAE Systems. It's not new technology overall. And we're able to leverage our experience and our understanding and our know-how in this partnership to get through US Coast Guard certification or approval by the regulatory agency. So how do we do that? Well, at the core of our HybriGEN power and propulsion system is really an off-the-shelf technology. It's a proven technology built here in America. And we understand that each application is going to be different, and that's where the HybriGEN flexibility comes into place. And we really have the capability to go above and beyond when needed, and we can add engineered and tailored solutions if that's a requirement. But our approach is to really deliver a package solution that provides all of the propulsion power and the auxiliary hotel load power. And we can give our customers the assurance that our system is proven, because they can look here in the maritime industry at these vessels that are currently in operation. So we offer three basic configurations for this HybriGEN system. And the first system is really our HybriGEN power and propulsion system. And that system provides electric power for all of the accessory loads as well as the propulsion system. But it does so by using the power of lithium-ion batteries and the supporting power of an efficiently driven variable speed diesel generator. And this system takes diesel electric technology and really gives it a twist. First and foremost, the system is engineered to utilize silent and electric power from the batteries as much as possible. And again, it's not just the propulsion power, but it's also the hotel load power too. And when additional power is needed, that is when the variable speed genset will come into play. And what I love about the variable speed genset is that it only turns on when it's needed, and it only operates at the level of power that is being required and demanded for the application. So it really eliminates the need for the generator to operate at higher power levels. And this cuts down on fuel consumption and reduces the emissions. If you think of it this way, most people have a fixed speed genset on board their vessel, and it's operating very inefficiently most of the time. Say you have a 100 kilowatt genset, but you only need 20 kilowatts of power. Well, that genset is sitting there churning away, producing a lot of extra power that just cannot be absorbed and used. And so our approach is to operate that engine just at the power level that is required. And we eliminate a lot of harmful emissions and the problem of slobbering or wet stacking. That just goes away with a variable speed genset. So that's what I like about it. And that's part of the HybriGEN standard system. And while we realize that this system works for many applications, there's still some applications out there that might need the additional horsepower of a conventional diesel mechanical propulsion system. We get that. And we're not trying to reinvent the wheel for all applications, but we feel like we can take conventional propulsion and twist it and do it in a better way. And that's where our HybriGEN Assist system comes into play. And it's a parallel hybrid system that can augment the power of a conventional diesel propulsion system. And we do that with the additional power of an electric motor. And the electric motor can feed into the propulsion system through a power take-in and provide additional boosting power. And this is really beneficial for applications that require higher horsepower that might stem up into the tier 4 power range. And we can provide that power without having to generate the need for any after treatment systems. We do that all electrically. But conversely, on the flip side, we can operate the electric motors and provide all electric slow speed propulsion for a vessel. And this is very beneficial if you think of a ferry that's pushing against a dock while loading passengers, or a harbor tug that is loitering and station keeping all day. Those vessels are currently forced to operate their propulsion engines at a minimum idle speed. And that minimum idle speed may be excessive. And in doing so, they're burning a lot more fuel than what they may need to do. And so our HybriGEN system could do that all electrically, quietly, and emissions free. Lastly, I just want to mention that we can provide a power-based system, and our HybriGEN power system really is a simple configuration that generates power for the hotel loads by harnessing that power off of the main engine. And if we do that in combination with an energy storage system, we can again reduce the need for gensets, eliminate extra maintenance, extra fuel burn, and we're saving costs for the bottom line.
But I think you might agree that generally speaking, the marine industry can be somewhat conservative on the uptake of new technology. So if I'm a vessel owner and I'm considering an all-electric or a hybrid electric solution, what are some of the things that I should be concerned about or asking about?
We realize that there are some customers and operators out there that might have some hesitation about going electric or embracing hybrid technology. We get that. And that's why BAE Systems is really trying to develop solutions that can meet customers as to where they're at today. And there certainly are a few factors that need to be considered when going electric or even hybrid. And it starts with defining the power needs, evaluating the suitable technology solutions that are out there, and conducting a consideration of the shoreside infrastructure and how much energy storage the vessel can physically accommodate. And we're able to help with all of that. And we realize that in order for this to work, the solution has to be a win-win. And so we work to get the customers there to see a complete picture of what they have and what could be. And I first want to underline that while this technology is new to the industry, to our industry, again, it's not new technology overall. The technology is safe and it is proven. And we realize that our regulators, the Coast Guard and classification societies, they have guidelines in place that further enhances the safety and proper installation and operation of these systems. We also realize that it's important for the crew to be trained on the components of this system, and we put forth a lot of effort into making sure that they're familiar and comfortable with that technology. but we want it to be effortless in the operation of the vessel. It's a fully automated system. So the captain of a conventional vessel should be able to easily step behind the helm of a hybrid or electric vessel. It should look and feel the same way in terms of the controls and the operation and control of the vessel movement. One of the pieces of feedback that we got from some of our customers is that the vibration and noise of a conventional vessel provides a level of comfort at the helm. The captain is able to hear and realize that everything is working appropriately. And that essentially goes away when you have a quiet and low vibration electric propulsion system. And so we realized that we needed to provide clear visual indicators at the helm, and we've done that. And so we realized that there are some nuances, but these are things that can be overcome. And I also wanted to share that for operators who want to go electric today, but realize they may not have adequate shoreside infrastructure in place, that's all right. By working with a modular system, we can grow the system over time and help our customers go down a path to get to zero emissions. It's easy to add more energy storage, more batteries over time along the way, and the system will adapt to that and realize that there's more energy storage in place. And if you don't have the shoreside infrastructure, that's all right too. The hybrid system uses self-charging technology. So it really can get operators to feel comfortable about investing in the technology and growing it over time. Same, we realize that batteries and energy storage is going to be continuously improving. And as that technology improves, you can bring it on board and our system will adapt to that as well, whether it be more efficient lithium-ion batteries or a fuel cell-based storage system.
So Joe, I've known BAE Systems name for many years, as long as I've been doing this. I know that this technology just doesn't pop up. It takes continual investment. When you look at your portfolio now and what it's going to look like in the coming years, what's new, what's next?
Sure, no, I appreciate the question. And yes, we're always looking to the future. And one of the things that I'm happy to share with you is a new feature that we're bringing to our HybriGEN systems, and that's geofencing technology. Geofencing technology is something that we have successfully implemented in our transit bus industry, and now we're bringing that over to maritime as well. And geofencing really allows us to set up intelligent geofencing, GPS-based zones, and they utilize the GPS technology to control the vessel and turn the diesel engines completely off and allow the vessel to operate in zero emissions, quiet, all electric propulsion when the vessel enters a user-defined zero emission zone. And we feel that by offering this solution, it really will help operators who operate in sensitive coastal areas or are passing through emissions corridors where they need to really regulate how much emissions they're producing. So happy to bring forth our geofencing technology to current and future customers as well. And while I have the moment, I'd like to talk about a couple of projects that are going to be hitting the waters soon. One of the projects that we're most excited about is the Switch E-Ferry, and that will be the first hydrogen fuel cell powered hybrid electric ferry in America. And that ferry is being completed right now and utilizes BAE Systems electric motors and power management system and interfaces with the hydrogen fuel cells. And while it is still consuming a fuel, a clean fuel, hydrogen, it is doing that in a very efficient manner, and it's leveraging electric propulsion. So very excited about that. Stay tuned, and I'm sure you'll want to cover that story further, Greg. Secondly, we're happy to announce that the University of Vermont is utilizing our HybriGEN system in their new research vessel. This is a vessel designed by Chartwell Marine, and it is currently under construction at Director Shipyards. So we're very excited about this project. Again, the research and survey vessel community has realized that implementing this hybrid propulsion technology is great for environmental stewardship. And so we're pleased to partner with the University of Vermont and another project you want to be covering in the future. So stay tuned. And thank you so much, Greg, for allowing me to share and bring this information to you.